welcome everybody to our session on communication and journalism programs in popular European cities. We're really excited about the programs that we're going to be talking about today. All right. Okay, so my name is Melody Stratton. I am the Director of Strategic Communications at ISEP. Before I came to ISEP, I was the outbound ISEP coordinator at the University of Kansas. So I advise on a few of these programs, and I'm happy to chat about that experience. And I'm going to let my colleagues introduce themselves now.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca Sakula, and I am the student advisor for Central Europe and UK, and I'm excited to tell you about our great programs today.
And I'm Maggie Montgomery. I'm ISEP student advisor for programs in the Americas and Southern Europe. And thanks everybody for joining us today.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about communications and journalism programs. We are actively involved in a course mapping project right now at ISEP. Our goal is to identify a mix of equivalent and required core classes and electives, and then we're going to be taking advantage of the work that has already been done by many ISEP members who have gone through curriculum integration, and we encourage you to use the other ISEP members in our network to do that as well. So let's see if we, still not ideal. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on today, but we'll keep going. So communication and journalism in 2020, it looks a lot different than it did when I was personally in school. I graduated in 2008, so you can age me if you'd like. And journalism programs were really heavily focused on newspaper reporting and broadcast journalism at the time. Communication and journalism programs in 2020 have changed really significantly in the age of social media and, of course, the internet. So there are lots of new classes and concentrations that are created all the time, and it's really important to stay current on what's available. There are also really significant differences between the different degrees at each institution. So your institution may have a communications program in its School of Media, another may have its own School of Journalism, and so it's good to be aware that the requirements in the core classes are going to really vary depending on what your institution is and where students might be going, and to just be mindful of those differences. So as I just mentioned, the field has changed really significantly. So there are lots of new jobs that didn't even exist a few years ago. You could now have a career in podcast production or become an influencer or make a career out of YouTube. And so it's just really good to be aware that this is a field where there's always going to be lots of change. And there are some commonalities among all the different disciplines and different possible jobs a person can have, but it's good for students to be able to be flexible and open-minded as they're going into this field. So we did a quick survey of some of the different ways we call communication and journalism degrees at just a few of our members. And this was, these are all majors within our membership at maybe only 6 institutions. So you can see that really there is a really wide diversity of how we focus this degree and what our concentrations are. And then, of course, study abroad is really important for this field. It helps students develop this flexibility that is absolutely mandatory. And the careers themselves really do require some cultural competency and nuance and communication and an understanding of different cultures. And so it is important for students to get this international and cross-cultural experience early on. There are also a lot of opportunities for students to pursue internships abroad. And so we'll be talking about a few of those today, but that's another great way for students to gain some professional experience. Many of the degrees do require a foreign language, both in journalism and like a Bachelor of Arts in Communication. They're usually going to require some foreign language study. And so this is another way that students can gain that foreign language skill if that's something that they're seeking or require. And then at least at the university where I did a lot of advising, students were also required to have a second major or a minor. And so there's a lot of overlap where students are studying international relations, or they're studying marketing, or perhaps they're doing area studies or gender studies, something that they want to take with them into their career. And so that is another good thing to consider in helping students sort of match those courses when they're abroad is important. And then finally, study abroad is great for students who want to specialize or develop really specific skill sets and areas that may not be readily available on your own campus. So today we're going to be talking about programs in popular European cities. There are a number of really wonderful ISEP communications and journalism programs all over the world, and so I certainly had a hard time, narrowing it down to just these three. And we are going to talk about a couple of programs that are also available at the end. But these are some that we're really excited about. The University of New York in Prague is a new ISEP site for us, and it's a great opportunity if students really want to be in a major European city. Of course, Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore is one of our most popular programs. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. So we'll dive into some of the really unique classes and opportunities that communication and journalism students have at that institution. And then we also talked about London Met last week, specifically for underrepresented students, but they also have a great communications program. So we'll be talking about that as well. You'll get a copy of this presentation, so you'll be able to review this slide, but this is just a good overview of all of the different requirements and opportunities at this institution. So you'll see that all of these schools offer ISEP Direct, and then they all have classes taught in English, and they all accept sophomores. So if you have any other specific questions about the requirements, we have Becca and Maggie on the webinar today, and they are happy to answer your questions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Becca to get us started to talk about the University of New York in Prague.
Awesome, thanks Melody. Hi everyone, it's so great to see you today virtually. I'm really excited to tell you more about our new program at the University of New York in Prague, also called UNIP. It is located in a quiet upscale neighborhood in the Vinohrady neighborhood of Prague. It is English taught with American-style classes. There are small classes with easy access to professors for an intimate academic experience. And it's also created in conjunction with SUNY Empire State and SUNY New Paltz. And we also want to give a very warm welcome to the UNIP coordinator, Timothy Smetana, who is on the webinar today. So Timothy will be staying on after the presentation has concluded to answer any additional in-depth questions you may have. So first, who should go to UNIP? Well, this is an excellent university for sophomores. It offers introductory coursework and lots of general education requirements as well. It's great for business, psychology, and international relations minors. It also has a very American approach to student services. So it's very student-centered. There is a counseling center, accommodation support, tutoring, and additional academic services as well. There are even support puppies during midterms, and I don't know anyone who could turn down a puppy. So that's just one other great reason to attend. They also have faculty from all over the world, and current academic models at UNIP bring in practitioners to teach as well, not just academics. So this gives students both practical and academic experience within their courses. And not only this, but students interested in independent travel are an excellent location to see more of Europe if that's something that they desire. So some core classes for communications majors that students can consider are happening in both fall and spring and include intercultural communication, global communication, reason argument, social media marketing, and more. So this is just a snapshot of some of the types of classes that may meet the requirements in their core academics back at your home university. And then as well, we have some sample general education classes as well for students to consider in both the fall and spring semesters. It's a wide variety ranging from economics, art, politics, even Czech and German languages. And this is particularly great for students who have elective credits to fulfill, or maybe could even apply some of these to their major requirements as well. And so if students want to get involved, they can both in and out of the classroom at UNIP. Specifically for communication studies majors, we have the Communication Studies Society. There's also TEDx Unit Talks, lecture series, and student council hosted events. Students can actually get involved in sports during their time at UNIF, but the university also runs their own excursions, such as hikes outside of Prague, a Pilsen trip, and much, much more. As for housing, the housing is very close to campus and there are accommodation support services like I mentioned. So students will be living in housing that's about a 15 to 20-minute commute on public transportation, which is a very check experience. And not only this, but ISEP students will be housed with UNIF study abroad students, and they'll also have access to interact with other students around the world, as well as students who are studying at other local universities in the area to get that experience and to meet people from all different backgrounds as well as domestic students. Not only this, but the rooms are very modern. They're about 2-person rooms, access to kitchen facilities, ensuite bathrooms, and there's food available in the unit cafe. So for budget, this program is very competitively priced in Prague. Students can also take advantage of the low cost of living in Prague and purchase food, pay for travel, or anything else that they have as goals during their time abroad. And this also includes a fitness center access and an indoor pool. So for the ISEP expenses, program expenses, as well as the additional estimated expenses, you're looking at a grand total of about $17,155 USD for a single semester. And lastly, why UNIF in Prague? Well, Prague is an entrepreneurship and innovation hub with a lot of great music and art scene. Prague is also home to the world's largest castle, Prague Castle, which students can explore and then relax in classic Czech taverns after a day out, and even visit the Old Town Square and astronomical clock. So there's a lot to see just in the city as well. Again, small class sizes are also a highlight here, with the average business class around 21 students and all other majors averaging between 14 and 15. They also have excellent and affordable travel connections by bus, train, to the rest of the Czech Republic and Europe. And not only this, but I also want to highlight that the Prague program does align with the US academic calendar. So if you have students who need to return home for an internship or any other family obligations, they can certainly do so on time. And so now I want to turn it over to Maggie so she can talk about our next program.
Yeah, so our next program is at Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore. As Melody mentioned, this is one of our most popular programs. Cattolica's Communications and Media Studies program is ranked in the top 200 programs worldwide. The university is in Milan, Italy's fashion and economic heart. And there are 3 really cool program choices for students at Cattolica. So the first is the internship and coursework, where students can pair coursework with a part-time internship. There's also a media studies certificate where students can really specialize in media studies. And then there are 2 classic study programs, international curriculum and the academic curriculum. So who is this program good for? This is a great program for students who are interested in studying cinema, fashion, brand management, international relations, really taking advantage of that Milan location. It's a great program for students who have flexible elective needs. A lot of the electives will be really grounded in the Italian context or fashion business. So this is great for fulfilling some of those general flexible requirements. And then also a great opportunity for students who are studying Italian. They can practice that with either taking coursework in Italian or with the internship experience. So we'll go through the 3 programs. The first is the internship and coursework. This is for 3rd and 4th year students, and it does require a minimum of 1 year previous language, Italian language studies. So students do need to have a little bit of a background, and they'll also be taking a pre-session Italian language course and an in-semester Italian language course, but both of these are included in the cost of the ISEP Direct program fee. The internships are available in digital communication and media, journalism, and mass communication at Italian companies. it awards 6 ECTS credits, so that's 3 US credits, and offers 120 to 150 contact hours at the internship. And there is an internship placement fee, but as we mentioned, that the Italian language fee is included in ISEP Direct. The second program is the Media Studies Certificate. This is a great way to have students get an extra credential while they're abroad. Students will take 2 core courses and then complement those with elective courses from the international curriculum. There's a lot of experiential learning. Most of the courses include field trips or excursions. And then students also are enrolled in the Study Abroad Impact Lab. So this is a 5-step special content course designed to maximize student study abroad experience and focus on building skills that they'll need to land their dream job. So this is a great way for them to develop cross-cultural competencies and learn how to select and implement the skills they'll convey in their CV for when they're job hunting down the line. Here is a sample of some of the courses in the international curriculum. You'll see a lot is really grounded in the Italian context and talking about different themes in Italy: fashion, business, journalism and media studies, and business. So housing for the program, students have 2 options. There's a double occupancy room in a shared student apartment, or they can have a single room in a student dorm. Both of these are located throughout Milan, so students may have a bit of a commute to class like a normal Italian student would. And both options are administered by Cattolica's contracted housing provider, MIL Service. Students live with other international students. The apartments are fully serviced and furnished and all have Wi-Fi. There are a number of ways students can get involved with Cattolica's community. So there's the Erasmus Student Network and a buddy program that these connect students to local Italian students, help them practice their language, do cultural events and sporting activities, city tours. Students can also take part in the student music and choir groups and also sports at the Centro Universitario Sportivo. And then they can also get discounts and different opportunities through the Yes Milano program. So budget, there is a lot of value in the program fee. It includes airport pickup, housing, and the insurance. ISEP Direct meals are self-catered. It also includes student housing, so that includes a single room if they choose the dormitory option. It includes Italian language courses, but there are some additional fees if students participate in the internship program and a few other excursions or other opportunities that may have a fee. So why Cattolica and Milan? Unlike some of the smaller popular Italian cities like Florence, Milan is really the cultural fashion capital, not only of Italy, but is a global fashion capital. It's known for its strong communications program and partners with top-ranked journalism programs around the world. And like we mentioned, students have a lot of opportunities to complement classroom learning with experiential education through the internships and other professional development opportunities in the Fashion and Economic Center of Italy. So I'm going to pass it back to Becca to talk about our program at London Metropolitan University.
Thanks, Maggie. Hi, everyone, again. So I also want to give a warm welcome to some of our coordinators from London Metropolitan who are also attending our webinar today. We're so excited to have them as a part of our network. And I'm excited to introduce London Met to you. London Met is centrally located in the city of London, which has over 2,000 years of history and more iconic landmarks than anywhere else in the world. It's an excellent university with facilities specifically for communications, including journalism newsrooms and recording studios. Some modules in particular will use the newsroom facility, and this is an exciting opportunity for ISEP students. London Met also has an incredibly diverse student body. It's an excellent university for underrepresented students, and it has a diverse body from adult learners to 147 distinct nationalities represented. So this directly reflects the diversity of London as a city as well. They also have an incredibly helpful and welcoming faculty and staff for your students upon their arrival. So who should go to London Met? Well, when we're talking about communications students, we believe that this is an excellent opportunity for students who are interested in a full academic year abroad. as well as students specializing in brand management in the fashion industry, film and television, politics, or international relations communication, advertising and marketing, event planning, electronic arts, and more. So some core sample classes that I want to present to you are on this chart. So while we do recommend full year students for communications to consider London Met, there are definitely options for single semester students in both fall and spring as well. You can see public relations, introduction to digital media, photojournalism, and a lot of advanced modules for your students to consider. Also, I want to mention that students who attend London Met will be enrolling in 4 modules. At many of our UK institutions, you'll notice that students are enrolling in 3 modules based on the credit amount. So this will actually allow students to enroll in 1 more module than average. So it's something to consider as your students are looking for their best fit. And then I also want to share some sample academic options that are a little bit more specialized. So we see here we have fashion as well as minor in concentrations and in sports journalism, human rights, introduction to international relations, as well as television and film specialized modules. So just so you know, we have pulled the fashion modules out already into a cluster as a direct program on the London Met University page, but these are some examples that are available to students. Next, I also really want to highlight the internship opportunities as well. So London Met offers internships in multiple fields, and it's another excellent opportunity provided where they work with a dedicated external partner for internship placements. This will replace one of those 4 modules that I had mentioned in the previous slide, but students will receive academic credit for these through London Met. There are additional fees for the internship, and students must have a Tier 4 visa. So anyone who's going on a full year or an internship placement will need a Tier 4 visa. And if you have any questions about the difference between that and a short-term student visa, just let us know. Some previous past internship placements that your students might want to know about include offices at a member of parliament, fashion designers, radio stations, marketing and PR companies, music labels, graphic design companies, charities, a lot of exciting experiences for your students to have in a global context abroad. And so when your students attend London Met, the housing will be on their primary campus, or the housing is at primary campus on Holloway Road. The single bedrooms will have are in apartments of about 6 people. They also have shared kitchens and 2 bathrooms per apartment. And there is alternative housing available. The students need to notify us ahead of time so we can help make arrangements. And next, for a budget, again, single bedrooms are included within the program tuition. Students are also eligible for Oyster cards or National Rail discounts. And London offers a lot of free sites and events for students to engage in during their time abroad. So when you're looking at the program fees as well as additional estimated expenses from the student, you're looking at a grand total of about $22,250 USD. Please note as well that meals are not included in the ISEP costs on this program. So why London Met? Again, it's excellent for advanced communications, media, journalism, and business coursework that's focused on career readiness. It also offers a streamlined study and internship process. And for communication students, this is an excellent professional development opportunity and one of the most important news and media centers in the entire world. And we've had London Met staff members tell us that diversity is in the DNA of the university. And so this is an excellent opportunity for diverse student bodies who would like to have supportive staff and a great fit for underrepresented students. So I'm going to turn it back over now to Melody.
Thanks, Becca. So some other programs you may want to consider for your students include Maastricht University, Vesalius I think she's here with us, so she can correct me if I get it wrong. Massey University, Al Quain University, the American University in Bulgaria, and the American University in Sharjah. So these are a little bit, they offer more communications and journalism concentrations. You may be able to find, so if your student is specifically interested in, say, rhetoric, one of these may be a better site. There are great journalism opportunities at many of these universities, and we certainly encourage you to do some research on all of them as well. And I will note that Maastricht University also offers an internship, and so does our site in Brussels. So we will be following up today with curriculum integration resources from our other ISEP members, so we can share the ones that already exist. We'll also be sending budgets for each of the program. We'll have resources for the syllabi, and we'll also include some marketing resources. And if you guys have any other questions or things you'd like us to address in our follow-up email, just let us know and we'll make sure that we can get you an answer today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up for questions. So if you have questions and you would like to go ahead and ask them, you're welcome to unmute yourself and go ahead and let us know. Otherwise, we'll try to answer all the questions that are available in the chat. And we do, I believe we may have staff with us from all three institutions. So if you want to pop on and say hi and introduce yourselves, we'd love to see you.
Melody, we do have a couple of questions from the chat from earlier about accreditations at UNIP in Prague, about AACSB or EQUIS accreditations, as well as AEJMC. Timothy, would you like to introduce yourself quickly and maybe address those?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Kelsey. So everyone, my name is Timothy Smetana. I work for the University of New York in Prague, called UNIP. And to answer your questions about the business accreditations, our business school is accredited by IACBE, and also through our partnership with SUNY Empire State College, it's also accredited through the Middle States Accreditation in the US, and then also accredited by the Czech Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports.
Well, thank you so much. Have a question. Can students take courses from both the international curriculum and the academic curriculum at Cattolica, regardless of whether they apply to the international curriculum or academic curriculum ISEP program, or must they choose one of the two? I don't actually think we have anyone from Sacro Cuore on here. Correct me if I'm wrong, Maggie.
I think Maggie can answer the question.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Yes, students can cross-enroll between the two programs and mix and match courses from the international curriculum and the academic curriculum. The difference is international curriculum is mostly taken with other international students, whereas the academic curriculum is where you're going to be in courses with the local Italian students. Those courses are offered in Italian and English, so students just need to have proficiency in that whichever language in order to take those classes. The only exception is their Faculty of Economics and Management runs on a trimester schedule, so it doesn't line up well with the regular semester, so a student can't cross-enroll between those. But other than that, students are welcome to cross-enroll.
Thanks, Maggie. Any other questions today?
Hi, just a quick question. This is Leti Kahya with San Diego State University. For the UNIP program, where does the transcript come from? Like, which institution issues that transcript?
Yes, thank you for the question. So the transcript comes from UNIP. Because our programs are completely accredited within the Czech Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports. It's a completely UNIP transcript. We don't have any school of record or anything like that. We're just our own institution issuing our own transcripts.
Great, thank you. Any other questions today? All right. It doesn't seem like we have many other questions. If you do have, just a question you'd like to ask us individually, you're welcome to send me an email and we can do some research for you if we don't have a quick answer. We also encourage you to use the resources that we've provided, and we will send them out along with a copy of this presentation. And you should have also received a handout this morning, and you're welcome to use that when you're advising students. If you have any other questions or comments or suggestions on programs that you would like us to discuss, just let us know. And otherwise, we will hopefully see some of you at some of our sessions later this summer. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.